This is a video of me, Daniel Harris and John French in May 25, running from Leon to Santiago de Compostela along the French Camino Way. We started out in Madrid, caught the train to Leon, and then at the end caught the train back from Santiago. So we made it to Leon, came on the train, managed to meet John this morning. He's pretty tired, so he's actually in the room sleeping at the moment. Poor guy. So we've arrived in the hotel. That's the ceiling inside, and this is the view all the way. So far Leon seems like a nice place. There's a lot of stores here. We seem to be in a main shopping area, and these are all bookstores. Well, it's 7:30 in the morning, and we've managed to get ourselves out of bed.
Day one.
We had our first couple of challenges this morning. My bike valve is completely gone to pieces, so I had water all down my back. Never mind, made my back a bit cooler, and we also couldn't find anywhere for breakfast. But luckily the hotel had a breakfast, and we had to wait till 8 o'clock, but we have now had breakfast. So we're about to start. There's Leon, and
Day one.
day one begins. So we're finally off and going. Still in the streets of Leon. I've got this pretty looking building just ahead. And we're actually just trying to find the Camino. We haven't got onto the trail yet, but we're not far. We've just got to get up here, turn left, and I think we'll be on the Camino trail. And this is it, we're on the Camino Way. Yes, just past that bridge there. Feeling fresh. Well, definitely. Done 1 kilometre. We are now on the way. You can see some pilgrims yet. I don't know if it's customary to say morning to people. I suspect we'll be saying a lot of mornings.
Yeah.
We do.
And the funny thing is, we're going to meet everybody. We'll see the back of people.
That's right. Yes.
We're never going to come the other
Yeah,
direction.
no one's ever walking the other way. Very much an industrial landscape at the moment. And we're about 3.5 miles in. The sun's really starting to get warm now.
Sun on our backs.
But we're far from the hottest of the day, but it's still pretty warm.
Yeah.
We have now made it onto some gravelly trail, but we're far from out of the industrial area. There's still houses up on the ridge there, and we seem to, I was going to say, we seem to be surrounded by motorways and roads. Well, we're 10 miles in. We're now on this type of a trail that's a bit gravelly. We've been surprised so far. We've actually ended up on a different trail to the one that I thought we were going to go on and that I'd mapped. But it was signed the Camino Way, and there were the shells and all the signs, and we've kept seeing the signs ever since. But what we're actually doing is running alongside this main road over here. So we've just done a half marathon, John tells me, coming up behind there. We've just gone through a town called Villa Dango, managed to find some water by the school on the way in, so that's the first fill up with water. We've got pilgrims in front of us, as you can see.
It's a choice.
and then yeah, this could be a choice. It seems like the popular choice is to go this way. Oh, we've got a few cyclists as well. We're just getting out of San Martin del Camino. A little bit of a busy road, but we can see here that they've created a little bypass for us. So we go over this canal. It seems like every single sign they're having a debate about whether it's Castile L.E. Leon or just Leon. So they constantly argue and blot it out and mark it and remark it. Anyway, this is our trail now. Nice to be off the main road. We're about 16 and a half miles maybe now. Now you can see we've got a long trail ahead. We can't see the mountains and we can't see snow on the mountains. Another little mystery is that all inside roads have got stop signs. And the question is, why are the stop signs in English? So we've got our first routing problem. We carried on down a trail and then decided to cut back to the road, and we've now ended up in a farmer's field. We can see the road, it's just the other side of these trees, but there's no easy way so far to get across. Hopefully in a minute there will be a break in the hedgerow. So now we're just getting covered in flies. We've just arrived into the town, which I think is called Puente, and we've got this bridge to cross, which is pretty nice. Big body of water, flowing well. So we just had a very filling meal in a little restaurant. This is a little town called, was it Hospital? Hospital de Obligo. And then John just got his book, and he's got his first stamp in the book as well. Yep. So he's now officially a pilgrim, and he has to convert to some Christian religion, I believe.
Joining the cult.
It does look a bit like we've got hills coming.
Oh, that'd be nice actually.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad, would it? The guy in the restaurant said that it's nice from this point onwards. So we felt that this morning was a bit too industrial, too many, well, too close to the road really. So that was the main problem. But anyway, as you can see, they've now put us out in the fields. I think you have. So we've got about 5 miles left to go. We're going downhill, yeah. We did actually go uphill to come down the hill. But you can see we got a bit of a village in front of us. And we did see a church, disappeared now. But yeah, things have improved greatly since we had our lunch. Much quieter, much more rural. We've just come up the hill, and I'd say we've hit some of the more beautiful parts of the Camino. Really nice. Buen Camino! We've got less than 5 miles to go as well, so doing well. We've got about 2 miles left to go. We've now done the marathon distance, and definitely hillier. You can see we're going up a hill at the moment. There's a pilgrim just in front on the trail, but not so many this afternoon, far more this morning. I'm thinking a lot of them have hung up their boots for the day. I'd say the pace has dropped a bit this afternoon, but that's good. Try and save the legs, because we've got 6 more days of this to go. You definitely get cumulative fatigue. So this is Casa Preta, where we stayed last night, and it's now 8 o'clock. We're just going to get going. I'd say it's chilly, but not cold. This is San Justo de la Vega, and pretty quiet place. So we've got to find the Camino Way again, but it's pretty easy. It's just the main road up here. But the other bells of the other church are ringing there. We ate up there last night at the bar. We obviously John's ideally a vegan, but if not a vegetarian, and we went to, there were 2 places that sold food, like restaurant type places. They kind of look like bars, but anyway, they do serve food. So we looked at the first menu and there was nothing at all that was vegetarian on there. So we thought, well, never mind, we'll go to the other one. Went to the other one, we were there for just before 8. And the old lady at outside the place said, in very broken English, well, in Spanish, she explained that they weren't going to be serving any food till 8:30. So we went in, got a drink, sat down, waited till 8:30. Went up to the bar again to order, and they said, "Oh no, the food's not the kitchen's not home till 9." So we waited another half an hour. Sunday night, 9 o'clock. Really could do with some food, so we waited till 9. Went up there. They'd only got 1 item on the menu that was vegetarian, which was the Spanish omelette. So I ordered the Spanish omelette for John, and she comes back and she said, "Oh, we've got no Spanish omelette." So, yeah. So we had to resort to a baguette with lettuce, tomato and onion on its through. But he did at least get some food. Not quite what we were after. We're running in now to the next town, which is just there, so probably 1.5 miles. And we're hoping we can get some breakfast there. So it looks like they've taken us off the main road, which is what seems to happen a lot. They just pull you off a field's distance away from the road. Makes it a bit more pleasant. The other thing that happened last night was, after we got in, probably about an hour after we got in, there was an almighty storm with hailstones, lightning, thunder, wind, strong winds. So we were lucky we didn't get caught in that. We keep seeing mountains in the distance, and they seem to be right the way across from over there to over there.
No way around them.
So we seem to be heading for them. So we just made it up the hill. Church here. Got a nice statue. John's on the hunt for a stamp for his book.
John is still asleep.
And
Galicia.
oh yeah. Yeah. This says I think it's 257 kilometres left to go. Roman remains there, probably. We need a sign. But anyway, quite a little town, so we just need to smell our way through it, looking for some breakfast. There seems to be Roman history in a number of the towns. This town's actually named after a Roman emperor, Augustus VIII. Just had our breakfast. Avocado on toast with salmon, very nice. And now we're just following the signs. Got a little sign like that one there. It gets us out of the town. Still a bit nippy. I'm looking forward to getting back out into the sun. It is said to be cooler all day today. Which actually would be a good thing because it was a bit hot yesterday afternoon. We've got pilgrims up ahead. And then I think this is a biking group. I've just seen them by the church assembling and going off. So, quite a few of them. Well, we're almost 5 miles in, but we've come out of the town and now we're experiencing a pretty strong headwind. You might be able to hear the wind. So hopefully this headwind dies down. We don't have this all day, but yeah, it's gusting pretty strong at times. Still, we're on a little side trail off the main road and the road seems quite quiet, so quite pleasant. We've just seen a sign. John reckons we've got 160 miles left to go. Well, the wind's not stopped. We've been going up, steadily up for quite a while. Starting to get a decent view across the hills. We're steadily passing pilgrims who I suspect left about 8 o'clock this morning from Astorga, where we had our breakfast, but it seems like we've passed most of them now. Just a few early risers ahead of us. We had a good chat with a Canadian guy who'd done the whole thing, so that was good. He was from Montreal. Nice to chat to him. I'd say there's a lot of people on the trail that are from Korea. Seems like maybe there's a party, but not very many English. Definitely a few Americans, a lot of Spanish, but I can't say I've actually said hello to an English person yet. We're just coming into a town here, Star Catalina. Got an interesting little sculpture, and then we got the church in front, and we got the mountains with the snow on. They've just come into view. Just a reminder that hills are ahead. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's that was a long stretch of fairly straight trail, but with the headwind. Well, let's get our heads down. We're about 8 miles in now. Not the old birds, guys. People stay. Quite a pretty little town. Big coffee. I'd like to see a big coffee. I asked for a big coffee this morning, it was tiny. I don't think they know what a big coffee is. past the 10-mile mark, and you can just see a town up ahead. It's been a long, pretty straight trail, but as you can probably hear, the wind is still absolutely blowing in our faces, so a headwind the whole way. I've been seeing a lot of pilgrims, so definitely a lot more than yesterday. And the town's called El Ganso. You can see we've actually been put onto the road now to get into the town. So we're merged in with the cyclists. There's some dark clouds on the horizon. So we're just hoping we're not in for a rain later. We just saw the Jacko Trans baggage company go past, so we've just seen our luggage, hopefully seen our luggage just go past us. I turned around, John's a little way behind, but I turned around and John waved. He also saw the Jacko Trans truck, so we're both very aware of our baggage making it. Yesterday it had miraculously entered the building, so this morning we left it in the building, locked in the building, on the basis that somebody knows how to get in and out to pick up the bags. I've just gone through mile 13 and you can see the hills up ahead. Getting closer. We know we have a hill to climb. Probably at about maybe mile 16, 15, 16, somewhere like that. We've got several miles of steep hillage, so I'm thinking we'll probably be hiking that, but we're doing a little bit of down now, so might as well enjoy that. We've got the mountains with the snow on off to our left still. They were off in the distance yesterday, so it's kind of pleasing that we're up alongside them now. That's nice. The wind's still blowing, but I'd say more across from the side at the moment, so not quite so head on. And then we have these mile markers telling us we've got 246 kilometres left to go. Just doesn't bear thinking about. I think it's giving us a little bit of a break from the wind as well. But this could be the start of the climb, because it started to go up quite a bit. John's just behind. So we just had lunch, a piece of pizza. I had half a baguette. John just went to get his stamp in the church. Did you get one?
No, but you should go and take a look at all the gold. It looks like Donald Trump's toilet.
Anyway, so that was a fairly quick lunch stop.
Right. Lighter lunch than yesterday.
Definitely a lot, yeah. 10 times lighter than yesterday. Yesterday's was a bit of a brick in the stomach. Anyway, we've got a nice little narrow street. Pilgrims walking a bit, and steepest bit today is about to come. And then a little bump on the top and down the other side. John's just getting his stamp in the monastery shop. There. And we're right by the church. It's not been too bad so far. Just on the edge of the forest. We've got that view. Nice. Wind blows from time to time, but I'd say it's dropped a bit, and the sun seems to be out more. Quite a lot of cloud, but it is cool. When we stopped We both got a bit cold. But, coming back up this hill now, starting to get me warm again. And then yellows, well that's definitely gorse. Maybe that isn't. Path's a bit rocky. Not too bad. And we're just going steadily up now. So I'm just alternating between running and walking. Most of the time you can walk around the edges and go around it. Sometimes you have to detour off the path because there's just too much water coming in from the side normally. So they have had a lot of rain here the previous weeks before we got here, and then we did have that storm last night, and I've got a feeling it was raining over on these mountains this morning as well. So people are having to pick their way around. So we're not quite at the top, but we are getting some views now. Back. Definitely cooler up here, but and you can probably hear the wind still really blowing, but not as strong as it was. Probably we're getting a bit of shelter off the hill. Very pretty though. That bit we just came through. Lots of natural colours, yellows, reds, whites. The trail got really bad further back there. There were people picking their way through very slowly. I had to get past them. Right, we've made it up to the next town, which is called Fonsendon. You can see right in the distance all the hills. So we've really come out onto the top. There's a little bit of a dip and then we go back up again, but there's an albergue over there. This little bit of town. I reckon I'm going to sit by that cross and wait for John to come up. I don't know if you can hear that, but that was the frogs. Alright, John's back with me. We have almost topped out. We've just got to go up this trail here, and then it goes round off to the left of the hill, and then we think that's probably the top. But yeah, amazing views. At lunchtime we went into the this little shop where they had some food, and they got a sign outside saying pizza, so we went in and we said pizza, and the guy goes, he's all Spanish, didn't speak any English at all, shows us this one pizza, but it had all different segments of different types, such as vegetable, ham, I forget, one with peppers on it, and which one, you know, which pizza do you want? So I said, oh, I'll go with the ham. John said he'd have the vegetable, and then the guy proceeded to peel the cling film off and take out one piece of each of the these little thin pieces of pizza. Not what I was expecting. I thought he was going to cook us a pizza. I thought they were just the sample to show us what the choices were, but I was wrong. Anyway, we had the one slice of pizza, and I decided I needed a baguette to top it off. So I had half the baguette, the other half is with me for later. I think we finally topped out. Got this shrine here, and a bit of a church, tiny church. All the stones we've got right now. Yeah, it looks like the trail now moves onto the road. Just hear the bells ringing. Right. but I'm going to assume that that tower there means we're at the top. Well, near enough anyway. Looks like we've got to go up there. So I'm expecting some decent views in a minute. Looking over the top this way. More of this beautiful colours, lilacs and yellows and purples in there, deep blues. Looks like the Camino goes off to the left. Definitely just come over the top and we've suddenly got the view opened up in front of us. You can see we've got this fairly steep descent now, which is a bit technical at the moment, but you can definitely see the civilization down there. Well, it's gone down below us now. But the path's good. Good running path. Hello. Mountain going up there. Flags in the distance. I can see a Union Jack, so maybe there's a hotel there or an albergue. Yeah, we've been descending quite steeply, quite quickly, so losing all those gains. See, this look new from above. Not so much now, John. Perhaps they just had a job lot on the roofs. A tiler came in and did it.
This looks like slate.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely slate. Oh, there's your chance. Mind you, don't have to kick it because, yeah, because the gravity will bring it back down. Bigger than I thought. Yeah, it actually looks really old. Well, just finished a marathon and got about 4 miles left to go, so it looks like the mileage is right today. I'm slightly concerned that it would be a good bit over, but it looks like it'll be about right. We've just been doing some very steep descending, which was so steep it was a good idea not to try and run it because you just ruin your quads. But we're back on now, reasonably flat ground again now. The town ahead, we think that's where we're heading. We think that's probably about 4 miles away. Of making our way down this, but this isn't bad. It's more gentle than some of the steep stuff we've been doing, which is nice. Just to another town. Gang of electric bikes coming past. Electrics, but there we go. Make life easy for them. Anyway, little old town. Some very old buildings. And looks like some slightly newer ones. We've got about 3 miles left, so doing well. Well, according to the watch, we've got about 1 mile to go, but it didn't seem like it's possible. Can't see anything in front of us that looks vaguely like a town. We do see this lovely gorge here. We can hear the water running. We're about to come around a corner, so maybe all of a sudden it'll manifest itself to us. Just met a couple of ladies. One was from Alabama. Well, they're both from Alabama, but one was originally from South Africa. Some lovely smells as well. Some of these plants are very pungent. These ladies were just saying that they'd skipped some of the Camino Way because they didn't want to do the really hard rock, and they said they wished they'd skipped this bit. They didn't realise this bit was the they said this is the worst bit for rock, and I can well imagine if you're not too confident on your feet, this would be a nightmare to come down. But I think we've done the worst of it. Bike, come in.
Ciao amigo.
Alright.
Éxitos.
Yes. Good to see you again. Right. So yeah, they're going on the bike. We spoke to him yesterday, and he'd already gone the wrong way and then turned around, and he's now coming back, and he seems very happy. He also seems quite skilled at, as he's already completely disappeared, he also seems quite skilled at mountain bike riding, but he's a nice guy. Aha! We see the town. Woo, home! Down where we... Molina Seca. It's the start of day 3, and just had 8 rounds of toast, so I think that's a good start. We put our bags in the lobby of this little hotel we've been in Molina Seca, and we're off. Didn't take long to well, that's a good sign, John. Yeah. All the way to Spain, the message has travelled. We just literally ran right out the old part. I think of it as being like the shambles in York. The buildings are that close together. But we are on the trail. It didn't take us long to, well actually we turned out the hotel was on the trail. We didn't think it was, we thought we'd got to get back by the river, but we are. It is a shorter day today, so
Yeah, it's only
so we can feel very fresh this morning, knowing that we've got a short day ahead. The sun's already out, so I would say it's definitely, well, it's set to get to 24 today, so I'd say probably really is. Yesterday was a cooler day, and we had a headwind yesterday. There's no wind at all today, which is nice. They seem to like these trees. They seem to chop the trees so that they sprout out sideways. I was saying they look a bit like a London plane. Not sure what they are, but they've got that fine silvery bark. We just found a water bottle on the ground, like a soft flask, and I started asking the people that we were passing one by one, and sure enough, about the third, fourth group we went past, it was the ladies that dropped it, so that's good. Good deed of the day. You would not want to be without water today. Already quite hot, and it's only probably 9:30. We're just getting into the town now. It's Ponteferia, and we've been watching it from the right, but we seem to be on the outskirts of it now. I think they're going to take us into it. We've got this little bit of a historic bridge. Seems like the Camino tries to get over these historic bridges. Not the modern ones. It's nice to be in the shade because it's already getting pretty hot. I'm sweating quite a bit, so. Real lemons, it might have been. But yeah, plenty of water today. Looks like we found the church. I'm sure there'll be many in this town. Ah, a castle. And either the Ku Klux Klan or a wizard, one or the other. We are just coming down the steps, and still in the town. John's just been to get his stamp in the church, and yet again no stamp in the church available. Church was open, but for some reason they're not into giving out stamps for his book, so it seems like the albergues are the place to go if you want to get your book stamped. I'm not sure why. We think it's a missed opportunity by the church marketing board. We're at the town, just like that, climbing up a pretty steep hill. Some great views of the mountains. And John? We're just starting to pass some vineyards, just little ones. I wouldn't say it's on a commercial basis, but definitely some old ancient vines around. And you got big mountains over there all the way around, and then you can't really see them, but they're all over there as well. So, mountains everywhere. Oh. So we've been on a long, straight, flat road for over a mile now, and I think we've just set our first record, John.
Oh, what was that?
9:34 pace. So I reckon that's probably the fastest mile we've run so far on the Camino. Far too fast, but that's because we were talking about Corvettes, and it caused us to speed up. This is obviously a pilgrim stop here. Not for us. Onwards. So I think we're on about mile 9. They seem to be rolling off this morning. A little bit of an old section here, some stuff that I would suspect is not structurally sound. Bit of watling daub. Yep. So we've just seen this sign. 200 to go. That's kilometres, obviously, not miles. much been on roads, sidewalks, pavements since Ponferrada, something like that. I think I know we've gone through some of the little sort of suburbs, but it's been continuous. There's really been very little break from civilization. But later today there will be some long periods where I think we're going to be back up in the mountains. We've got quite a decent climb at the end of the day, according to the profile. They don't seem to train the vines up any poles or posts, or just let them free grow. But there's a lot of them. And I can see why as well. Warm, dry. John's just a little way back. He decided he would dip his hat in water. Just looking at the vines here, you can see that they've connected them all together. Actually, these are older ones, but anyway, over there, the one connects to the next, connects to the next, connects to the next. So I've decided that must be the modern way to do it. So they must share some of the water. Anyway, so these are the older ones, yeah. And then you've got the mountains that we came over yesterday, or at least over there. We think that's a microclimate over there. You can see the cloud is sitting on the top. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of road ahead. A few little hills, but oh yeah, this could be a nun ahead. This is our first nun. Yeah, we've had a few little hills, but not much. Generally, it's been either flat or slightly down. Hello. So it's 11:15. We've got our first half marathon done. So technically over halfway, although I really do think I'm probably going to make it a marathon if it comes up short. Getting some hills in the distance, and looks like some industrial buildings. Hey, cockerels. Just got to manage our water today. We stopped back there was a fountain, and you had to press a button on the floor to get the water to come out. And it came out through a stone. That's quite different. First time we've seen that. Another little town that's got a very old look to it. I would say not quite as old as some of the others, but pretty. A local guy sitting outside.
Lap 14, 11:16.
It's 14 miles. So that was a nice little town. I tried to buy a bite valve because my camelback, or the back water, I've got the bite valve for some reason has disintegrated. So on the first day I set off full of water, and almost immediately felt water trickling down my neck. Then I stopped and I had a look at it, and then carried on and did it again. And then I realised that the bite valve was missing a key component, so I was getting soaked. Now so far these two packs, 2 soft flasks, have been absolutely fine, but I thought I would see if maybe I could buy a bike valve. Getting the thumbs up off the cyclists. So we're past 15 miles now, less than 10 to go, and you might be able to see we're going up a big hill. It's probably been about a mile, maybe a mile and a half of hillage so far. Still got the vines off to the side. It is getting pretty hot now. I'd say I'm starting to actually sweat now. Well, this hill is still giving us something to think about. Definitely a long, consistent hill. They're not too steep, but you can see the cyclists are having to work their way up. And right by the roadside. But, we will get there. So we had a series of confusing signs back there. People had painted yellow arrows on the road, and then there was another part where there was an old sign that pointed off to the left. We've stuck on this road, which is less than ideal. You can see there's nothing at all to go on, but and occasionally a big truck comes by. But there are signs, big signs saying Santiago de Compostela in Camino Way. So we decided there must be a little side trail that people were taking. We didn't see anybody on it, but that would have cut out the main road. Anyway, we just gone through 17 and we're now on a little trail off the main road. Unfortunately, it's a little wicked hill, but it's okay. It gives us a chance to have a running break. Really amazing place. So we're just descending down. We've gone through, I think this is mile 17 just. So we're kind of ahead of ourselves really. It's 12:30. Could do with getting some lunch. But we're thinking now a couple of K, maybe a little less than 2K into the town. And then there's plenty of restaurants, plenty of choice. So. Oh, we've just come down the hill and we're to the church. You can see the pilgrims up ahead. So this is the town nestled in the valley. And this says lunch to me. A bit of a late lunch, but we're doing okay. Plenty of bars this morning. Church. A little bit concerned about how we get out of here. There seems to be nothing but hills. So just had our lunch. We're showing 28 on the thermometer, and this rather impressive building we think is a hotel and restaurant. It's very old. It's got the stork's nest on the top. I'm hoping we can find some water before we leave the town, because I don't really want to go out with just one bottle. So we've just been in the restaurant. John ordered a vegetable sandwich and it came with egg and tuna on it, which John was not happy about. And we said to the waiter, you know, we ordered a vegetable sandwich, and the guy argued, apparently in Spanish. I wasn't able to understand, but John said he was arguing that egg was a vegetable. They seem to be unable to do vegetarian food. It's just not a Spanish thing. Another looks like a church this time. Big old building. So I managed to get my bottles filled thanks to an old lady who knew the local area and was aware of where we could fill up. We never would have guessed where it was kind of hiding. But now we're coming out of the town. Got some pretty high-sided hills here, and I'm hoping that whilst the road is perhaps steep, it winds through the valley rather than up the side of these hills, because they're pretty epic. Just a little bit further on, so it looks like it winds round to the left. So I'm thinking it goes over there. I see, yep. So it goes in between, goes round here, and then round this rock, or this hill. So we'll just have to see what comes after that. Well, the answer is we don't appear to have to do any tunnels. We've got a big kind of freeway off to our left, and we're on this divided section here, so we've got our own little trail area. It is tarmac, and it's just generally going up now. It's definitely a road that keeps you guessing. So you can see it looks like we're going right to the right now. We've still got this big main road on our left. We've come off the main road now and brought us up this little road to a little village. There's any restaurants or bars or anything here. And a few people obviously live here. Looks pretty old, at least in places. And we're only a couple of miles left to go now, so we've gone through 22. We're back on this road again. Put us back on after the little village of Perex, which they're having an argument over the spelling of that as well. Seems like a common problem. And we're just going over another big bridge, or under another big bridge. Still going up, but still gentle. Just a gentle rise. So we just left the that mountain road that we've been on, and we're up a little side road here, and this leads to Trabadello. How much did it sting?
It's like a sharp needle. Just a sharp needle. Just now I can feel it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it just goes away.
Yeah.
And doesn't swell up.
Yeah.
So we've just checked in at the hotel, and checking on John, making sure he's okay. Seems like he's okay. He doesn't seem to have any problems with breathing, so I think his sting hopefully is going to come to nothing. Seems like it. Back on the road again. Day 4. We've got some low mist on the mountain tops there, but there's a bit of blue sky just poking through. And today we're going to Tricastella, about 24.5 miles, something like that, but very hilly. We're a couple of miles in. Been through a couple of little towns, very small ones. This one looks a little bit bigger. The usual mixture of quite nice buildings and ones that look like they are about to collapse. And then interestingly, up to the right they've got this massive bridge that brings the road over. And then you see the hills in the distance, not that distant, shrouded in cloud this morning. Still quite cool, very pleasant. Another one of these roads that goes over the valley. Crazy, it's actually in the cloud this morning. In fact, there's two on there. You said there's one behind. There's one even higher behind, and you just see a truck going over the lower one. It could be each way on the road. That's crazy. And the sun's just come out, so looking really beautiful. Definitely found the hill now. This is really quite steep. What's funny is you can see all these marks on the ground, and they're people's poles from all the pilgrims that have walked up here. Just all the way up. Lots of these trees as well with lichen growing in them. So we think that this valley gets a lot of moisture, and the lichen loves it. Finally starting to warm the air a little bit, but not too bad. It's quite high up. The top out's about nearly 5,000 feet, 4,888 I think it was. And a small tent. Still building this house. You do see quite a lot of unbuilt houses. Collection of tractors and more hills. We just stopped and had a Coke and a couple of bananas in a little little cafe bar place. It's actually quite chilly now, but we can see the trail, we can see little tiny people up in the distance. So we've just got to get around the side of this hill. Looks like we're going to finally be in the mist, and then it's pretty much then just a little bit of up and down at the top. So most of the climbing done today. It's around about 2,300 feet I think we've done. Very, very steep, but anyway, there's the view. So we've come all the way from down where that little few buildings are. That's where we had our drink. I'm thinking we're going to make it into the mist. Almost in the mist. You can see it's round the corner, just above us. Yeah, we've got this last bit of hill to go up. You see the cyclists going up, they are on electric bikes, I would point out. Just over there. Thinking that might be the top. That's finally done it. We've got, that's about 100 miles. We are in Galicia, and that's telling us we've got about 100 miles left to go. You can see, I reckon we pretty much are in the mist now. Bagpipes, which John assures me are Galician. We've got the church. Little town, bike rental. Pretty little place. We had to go around the diversion through a little alleyway back on the trail. We're definitely up. We've got a view of nothing, a view of cloud. At least it's cool. So we've gone through 13.5. This cat's come out to watch us. Still very much in the mist. I'm just going through a little village in the mist. That's 1,270 meters is the altitude. Bit of a statue over there.
The monk in his plug-in.
And other than that, I can't see anything.
More than halfway there now.
Yep.
Boys and girls.
I didn't film, well, I filmed John with his own camera singing Living on a Prayer, which we're not living on a prayer.
We'll make it, I swear.
That's it. So we stopped in hospital for lunch, and I would say an average place, quite a nice building, but they got pizzas which are frozen. We've had them in other places. I think they might be the same brand pizza, but anyway, they had those. So we ordered 2 pizzas, bottle of water, sit down, probably waited half an hour. Finally 1 pizza came out for John, and we suspect she completely forgot about mine. Anyway, eventually she said 5 minutes, and it took longer than 5 minutes, but anyway, the second pizza did come out. So at the second pizza as quick as I could eat. By now we were freezing. It's quite a cold place. I put my coat on, but it was still cold. Started to really get cold, and at the pizza, go to pay, no sign of her. Had to wait. Finally she shows up and she says, "Oh no, we don't take cards. The machine doesn't work." She didn't say this, she said all this in Spanish, so I had to follow the actions. She showed me the card machine and said, doesn't work. So I get my money out, and I knew I only had a few euros and I didn't have enough. So I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do now? Anyway, using my Google Translate, I asked her if it was possible to do a bank transfer, and she interpreted that to mean that I wanted to pay by card. So she gets the machine out and she brings it over to show me how it doesn't work. Straight away I noticed that it's in aeroplane mode. It's just an Android operating system in aeroplane mode, so I show her how to get it out of aeroplane mode, and then of course the machine works perfectly, and she's very grateful. I don't know how long the machine's not worked for, but she was extremely grateful anyway that I fixed the machine for us. A bit of IT support, but she didn't give me any discount, but I was able to pay the bill. So lesson learned, need to walk in and ask, do you take a card, before we order the food, because we were nearly washing up on that one. So it's just about making an appearance. Cloud down below us, and this rather wicked hill that I think goes all the way up to where that pilgrim is at the very top there. Very steep. See the road down below. Yeah, very steep one. If you can see, we've just come from that trail down there. You can see the people up front, how much higher they are than me. So there's John coming around the corner. We're on a steady decline. You can see the trail's pretty smooth. We're not by the roadside again, but it looks like they're going to pull us off slightly. You might be able to see how the cloud sits on the road and on the trail. It's like smoke. It's blowing around in the air. So the view did open up. I think 18 miles, just over 18 miles, and we've kind of almost topped out completely now, so it's pretty much all downhill for the rest of the day, which is, say, another 7 miles. Seem to be back in the pilgrim bubble again. Funny how it happens. You get periods of nobody. Nope. Get no one at all. And then suddenly, pilgrims everywhere. We've seen Galicia is famous for its stone, and we think that could be one of the quarries. You can see really good view from where we are. We've got about 3.5 left to go. But I thought I'd seen the town earlier. Already see it right now. We've just gone through 22 miles. And we're still descending. We're actually on like a concrete trail and then a gravel trail, but a little bit steep at times, but it's runnable. The concern with getting too carried away is that you destroy your quad muscles and then can't function properly tomorrow. So much as we'd like to run it really fast and pace it down, just got to be a little bit careful. You can see amazing views on the way down. Another quarry, that's a different quarry I think to the one we looked at before. Cows. Lovely field over there. Mountains, presumably they graze on it. These animals. So we just spoke to a pilgrim who was originally from Texas, now lives in Italy. John asked her what would she pass on to somebody who was thinking of doing the Camino, and she said, just do it. Half a mile away from Troy Castello now. Just gone through Ramil. And there's rather nice paving slabs. I feel okay. I would say my left quad's starting to feel a little bit tired, but not too bad. And I got little spots of pain just above my feet yesterday, and they're still there, but no worse. So here we go. I don't know what that building is. Here we go. See there. So we've found the hotel right there, and we're right next door to the bar and restaurant, so that's pretty good. We're immediately. Today is 28 miles. No, nearly 29 actually. So no need to make up the mileage today. I do have this little niggle in my leg, but I think once it warms up it might get better. Go away. I'll let you know. See the guy up ahead. It's a bit chilly this morning. I've got my jacket on at this point, but I'm thinking it'll come off very shortly as I start to warm up. So I've just done a couple of miles of uphill, and topped out there. Cows, road, beautiful. This is a pretty steep descent. We just topped out, sending us through this forest. I don't know if it comes out on the camera, but it is pretty steep, so just got to watch how fast we descend it. So we're on a little bridge over a stream. There really is a stream on the path. So we've got more okay rolling hills now rather than mountains. A bit of a up here. We haven't come to any major towns yet, but the one we're going to is Porto Marin. That should be a very major town. You can just see on the right there the town that we're going down to. It's a big town. It's got high-rise buildings. We haven't seen high-rise buildings since we started. So we've just come to the steps. There they are. How many there are, but there's plenty. I'm not going to count them. My dad would. Still going. Church here. Looks a bit closed again, John. John's after his stamps. We're still climbing up, but ooh. Stamp for your book, John. Extremely steep. Oh, there's a guy here coming up. Okay. This shows you how steep it is. He doesn't have electric. Without electric assistance.
Vamos, Tour de España, el camino, el bicicleta, el corre. Walking on walk.
And yeah, we seem to be on a country road now. There's another little village just round the corner. We just had lunch. A little taberna. Got this rather pleasant downhill here. So less than 10 miles to go. It's been kind of rolling countryside, little farming communities, but just barely any houses at all. We've been trying to figure out what these are. These buildings, very, very thin, and they seem to have air flowing through them. So we've concluded it's got to be something to do with drying. So we don't know if they're drying meat or just drying anything. Here's another one. This one's over a doorway. It's got that little door there that makes it very hard to get to. So, creek runs down the path, and we've got this field of I say wildflowers. I've also seen a lot of bus, sort of small coaches today, and then there seems to be a lot of people about. So we think now the people who are registering short sections, we think about 100 kilometres in is where you can officially call it a pilgrimage. So these people we think are getting, let's call it the easy Camino. Alright, what's that say? 100.2. Souvenirs. So I think we're well and truly on the busy bit now. More, I would call them rolling hills. Just going through our last little village before we get into the Porto Marin ground. My main issue right now is I've got that tendon injury in my foot, well in my ankle, and it's alright when I walk, but when I'm running it's quite painful, so I have to see what I can do. I'm hoping it just spontaneously mends itself, but that's wishful thinking right now. That's what I'm quite sore at the moment. I'd say it got worse today as the day went on. I was dreading the day 5. Maybe this is the day 5 injury that is going to get me, but hopefully not. So we'll see.
Try and save it till the end.
Takes all the way away.
They do have a big bridge, but it's quite a long bridge. Now we're on it. A lot of water. I'm guessing it's dammed to make it this big. It's day 6, but day 6 with a limp, unfortunately. So never mind. I'm gonna see how far I can make it without taxi support. And that way up. But yeah, it was not a bad hotel again. Just had breakfast. Very, very hard bread by the end. Giving my mouth a workout. So, hiking away this morning, but I see people behind. People in front. Certainly the busiest we've seen the trail so far. So hiking's going okay. I'm putting up with the pain. It's if anything, it might be going down a bit, although I'm getting used to it one or the other. Anyway. Well, hiking seems to be working out so far. Pleased to say. I would say it is very sore on my shin, but well, let's just hope I can get through today. So I think it's mostly downhill now for the rest of the day, and we're about 11 miles in. It's about 13 miles to go. Legs not good. I'm walking with a little bit of a limp. A little bit sore, so I'm not really expecting it to improve, but I'm hoping it doesn't get any worse, otherwise I will be in a taxi. Looks like we're almost here. See an albergue signed over there. Got windmills on the hills, but this is Palais de Ray. So we just had lunch in a little restaurant, well, a little cafe. Pretty hopeless. I was moaning about the Spanish service. Took about 40 minutes for them to cook a pizza for John. Then they overcooked it, so it was rock hard. So we made it into Malid. Seems like quite a busy little place. Just trying to eat like a granola bar and walk up a hill swiftly. So that was Malid. Just said goodbye to Malid. No breakfast in Malid. It's our final day. I would say Malid is very traditional, and they don't believe in getting up early on a Saturday morning. Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting it done. I do have a swollen leg. You probably can't really tell. I think it's gone sort of red because of all the ibuprofen gel I've been putting on it. So So hoping perhaps at some point this morning there'll be maybe at 10 there'll be some place on the trail that's serving some breakfast. That's the hope anyway. I've passed a couple of pilgrims. I'm not completely alone, but I pretty much am, and that's unusual. Normally in the morning when we leave, we're walking amongst the pilgrims for probably an hour. Continuing to go through these wooded trails, you can see, very pretty with the light just falling on them. So John did catch me up and then he passed me, and kept walking and walking, hoping to find a cafe. Beautiful scene ahead there. Anyway, I came around the corner, there was the cafe, and John saw me and shouted me. John's behind me, standing in a line waiting to pay for the breakfast. But there we are. At least we got food, that's the main thing. This is Corto de Pesca. Nice garden. This town's actually called Azua. At least that's how I say it. I suspect this is a popular one with the pilgrims. You got albergues. Like 22 and a half to go. Looking back now on the town we just went through, you can see we had to come down and then fairly steeply back up to get back over here. And that was a long time ago. I don't know how long ago, but I'm thinking that could have been over an hour ago and I haven't seen him. But we have had a lot of hills, so he tends not to catch me on the hills, he tends to catch me on the downhills. John did just pass me about a few minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. So we just had lunch, almost exactly halfway. Nice wide trail, a little bit bumpy in places, but which isn't great for my leg, but it's fine. I've got less than 16 miles left to go. I bet we've probably got, we're just coming up to 18 miles now, so that's great. Not quite sure what these sound like. John felt the last set sounded quite Scottish, but these don't sound quite so Scottish. And we're going for a tunnel under the road. And there he goes. Only 13 left to go, which is great. So really getting through these miles today, I'd say they feel fairly easy. There's John just going off again. I just saw him again. So we're now at 20.5 kilometres, counting it down now. But as you can see, beautiful weather, very still. normally what we do each day is come in at, well, we've been in as early as around 3 back when I was running, and then typically have a little sleep or a little nap, eat some food actually, then have a little nap, and then freshen up, and then we'll have a shower and change clothes and everything, and then have a rest, and then probably at about 7ish when the restaurant's open, normally go out and eat. So that's been our pattern. That's worked really well. Literally 20, maybe 30 people were all going up the road, and yet the trail was signed this way, and we the tree seems to have lost its bark. Strange. Anyway, I could see John was thinking about it, like, well, the trail's this way, and it is this way. But anyway, then the penny dropped that everybody was going the other way because they're all staying there for the night. So that's them off the trail for the day. But we were just saying, we think we're going to have the trail to ourselves now. Seems like we're with the last group that were all leaving off the trail to go into the last town. That's pretty much it now. 11.5 miles to go. They'll hike their 11.5 miles tomorrow into Santiago de Compostela. So just under 9 miles left to go. Just came up a really long hill, quite steep. It was probably 1.5 miles of uphill. So John is behind me, but now we're on the flat again. I expect he'll top out and jog it past me, but we'll see. Just caught me up. This is the airport, so that's a landmark I was looking forward to seeing. One thing I was concerned about before we started is if I started using my poles, because I broke my hand about 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks ago, would I either re-break the bone or damage the hand by using the poles? But I think the answer is that it's okay. So here's a water fountain, and on this hot day, definitely need to drink. Starting to get by some main roads now. Just seems like a very different place all of a sudden. Clearly a major town. Nicely stickered by the Christians. Put this path in for us, make it clear, we get the shells which way we've got to go, and looks like we're leaving the main road finally. Down the street, we've probably hiked something like a half marathon today. I doubt very many have done 33 miles, but there we go.